So what's your name?
Ashley King.
And where are you from?
I'm from Roseburg, Oregon.
So what are you studying?
I just got a degree in microbiology at Oregon State.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any like healthcare experience before you came out here?
The healthcare experience I had before Alaska was working as a camp counselor for children with cancer. Besides that, this is my first time actually getting to be with physicians.
And is that actually an interest of yours, oncology specifically? Or?
Yeah, I would love to get into pediatric oncology.
Okay. So what rural site did you go out to?
I went to Ketchikan.
Ketchikan. What
Yeah.
were you doing there?
Man, I did a lot of jobs in Ketchikan. We started at the Ketchikan Wellness Coalition and got to learn about how the community basically provides for the community with task force teams. And then we went to public health and learned about STD awareness in Ketchikan and Alaska as a whole. And then I got to work in pediatrics for a while and primary care for a while at the hospital.
And you're at Peace Health Medical Center?
Yep, Peace Health Medical Center.
So was Ketchikan more or less what you expected, or was it a surprise?
Ketchikan was way beyond what I expected it to be, but in a good way. Yeah.
Like you got rained on a lot out here.
We did, but we were in the temperate rainforest, so it was expected. But the culture there made it worth it because we had all the people there, all the cruise ships that came in, so there wasn't anything to let you down even when it's raining.
So what is the culture like in Ketchikan?
So the culture is a unique dynamic, especially in the summer, because you have Saxman, which is a little bit south of Ketchikan, and that's the native Tlingit tribe. And that community is very strong and very prevalent all throughout the town. You'll see totem poles everywhere. And then you have the tourist community that comes in the summer. They have somewhere near 1 million tourists that come in on cruise ships every year. So that culture and that economy really impacts the community, and it's awesome.
So what was the most impressive thing you saw or experienced while you were out there?
The most impressive thing I saw, gosh, I can go lots of ways. The most impressive thing I saw in the hospital was the communication, the teamwork that's being built amongst the workers there. They're working on a care coordination board that enhances communication. It puts it right out there on the wall for everyone to see who's doing what's going on in the hospital. And it's actually increasing the patient interaction because the physicians are all on board with each other and the support staff are all on board. And then the most impressive thing I saw outside was when I went snorkeling. We got to see about 50 bald eagles.
Nice.
And that's a really, really cool aspect of Ketchikan too.
Yeah, I believe Southeast Alaska has the world's largest population.
That was amazing. There's eagles there that were juvenile, and I couldn't think of a name for them, so I called them ugly eagles until I realized that they were babies.
Aww.
Yeah.
So you spent about 10 days in Ketchikan, but
Yep.
before that there's about 4 or 5 days in Anchorage and 4 days in Seward.
Yeah.
Were there any highlights of that part of the trip for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Like what?
The cruise in Seward was phenomenal. Like my one, not a goal, but hope was to see a killer whale. It feels like it's my spirit animal and I've never seen one before. And we got to see a pod of about 4. And I nearly started crying at this ship when they called it out. I was like, this isn't happening. And the glaciers take your breath away. Even the glaciers you see flying over Alaska take your breath away. We stopped in at Juneau, and Juneau has this huge glacier as their backyard. I was like, why aren't we staying here? This was amazing.
Great. So what are your plans for the future?
So going forward, I'm going to go back home to Oregon and work as an anesthesia tech at OHSU. And after that, it'll be about a year until I apply for medical school. And that will be a full year application process. I'll continue to work. I also teach scuba diving on the side, so that's my little extracurricular that I get to do for me and for the community and for the school.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to get going diving at Ketchikan, but we settled with snorkeling.
I think given the temperature of that water, I think you were probably wise.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for future RIN students?
I think my advice would be just to come to Alaska. Come see it. Come meet the fellow people in your program. The people you meet here are worth the tuition alone.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then getting to experience the Native American side of the culture in Anchorage, then to your rural sites and getting to see those communities, because no community is the same. So you'll go to your site and learn there, but then you get to hear back from the other students. So even when you're not at every site, you get every site's experience coming together and influencing your overall learning. And
Great.
yeah.
Thanks. Really appreciate your talking to
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Pranjal. I'm from Atlanta. I just moved to Atlanta. I got my bachelor's in biology from University of Utah.
Great. So what are you studying professionally?
So I got my bachelor's in biology, as I said, and I'm working for an institute called Marcus Autism Center. I'm a research coordinator there, and I plan on getting into public health, and my focus will be into infectious epidemiology.
So where did you go to do your rural job shadowing?
I went to Ketchikan, the remarkable city of Ketchikan.
Ketchikan, awesome. And what did you get to do while you were there?
Okay, so I got to do a bunch of things. First day I went to Ketchikan Wellness Coalition. Over there I could see that the preventative care is a huge focus because they try to avoid higher care needs. So they focus on preventive care a lot. Then I was shadowing a psychiatric nurse there. She was the apparently only psychiatric nurse at the Ketchikan Medical Center. And I shadowed her for almost a week, and that was a pretty good experience, I'd say.
Awesome. Did you have any free time while you were in Ketchikan that you weren't job shadowing?
Yes, apparently we were offered our last day as Community Exploration Day, and we could explore the community. And we did a lot of fun things. We flew on a seaplane. We also went snorkeling. That was a lot of fun. And we also went on a cruise to Misty Fjords National Park.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have any time to do any hiking around in the forest at all?
Yes, I do remember going to a Perseverance Trail near Ward Lake in Ketchikan. So that was
Great.
fun.
So before we went out to Ketchikan, we had about 4 days or so in Anchorage, and then about 4 days in Seward. Was there any particular highlight from that part of the trip that you remember?
Yes, every single day was amazing after arriving in Alaska. In orientation and in my first few days when we went to Alaska Native Heritage Center, I learned a lot. I think that prepared me to fly off to the rural site. And that gave me a pretty solid background about what to expect when I'm gonna be in Ketchikan. And the Seward trip was the most fun part of the entire Alaska venture so far. I think that was a very good bonding thing in our group. The hiking made a huge difference, that's what I felt. And I got to know everyone much better than I knew them before. And yes, the cruise that we went on, that was to Kenai Fjords National Park, that was fun too, a lot.
We played a lot of games of Mafia, as I remember. You were pretty good at that.
Yes, I was. So were you.
Great. So is there any particular piece of advice you would have for future RIN students?
Yes, I guess I would encourage them to talk to previous RIN students because that's what I did. I talked to Amber and that helped me so much. That got me prepared about what to expect and what to really look for in this program. And I was really focused about getting public health experience, but when I actually went to the rural side that I went to, I realized that I switched to psychiatry, and it was actually a very good decision because I learned a lot from that field too. So I would say their mindset should be broad. It doesn't have to be really focused because it can change down the line. Thanks.
As I remember, you were specifically interested in Ketchikan as the rural site that you wanted. Why was Ketchikan specifically?
I would say I checked out every rural site on Google, and Ketchikan was the most vibrant community, and the pictures were that was something that I got attracted to. So
Great.
I went there, and this was kind of an experience for me. So it was a worthwhile experience to go to Ketchikan. So enjoyed it.
So any last words?
I would like to say something about my host family in Ketchikan. They were very welcoming and warm, lovely people, and they are really looking forward to host new students who are going to go to Ketchikan next year, and I would say that's the best host family that anyone can get. Even in my past, I've not really met such people, so that made our experience better in Ketchikan.
Well, thank you for talking to us.
Oh, thank you.